The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern is about two kids who are taught magic and are to compete against each other in some sort of game, but neither of them really understand the rules. There is indeed a night circus, with real magic, but the audience thinks it's all elaborate tricks. Shenanigans ensue as the kids are brought closer together through various trials, or something like that. A friend recommended it to me. I think it's her favorite book. I read through an online library on my computer while listening to music. It took me around 5 hours spread over 2 days. Normally, I would avoid vocals when reading, but I wanted to drown out the voices this time. I used to look up to those who read 3 books a week, but I did exactly that, and I still feel empty. Moral of the story, as much as books can replace thought, the thoughts will always come back, until you submit to them. The beginning starts out mysterious, leaving many details vague. It sets the atmosphere really well though, which is the book's greatest strength. The atmosphere is rich, nuanced, charming, dreamlike, surreal, sparkly, magical. I don't know how to explain it any better. I'm just some dude making PowerPoint presentations on a broken monitor. I was pleasantly surprised to find some chapters told in second person, from the perspective of you visiting the night circus. Second person is rarely used in anything other than choose-your-own adventure books, and it worked quite well in this case, probably because it built off of the absorbing atmosphere. This was really well done, except for the occasional lazy description like, and you bit into the caramel apple, and it tastes better than you could ever imagine. Whatever, I respect the use of an uncommon point of view, and there were no big problems here. Those are crawling in the plot. When it comes to magic, the book takes the hyper-contemporary minimalist abstract art approach, in the sense of leaving everything completely vague. Here's a fun side game for you. Which of these was made by me in 15 minutes? The others are actual pieces of abstract art. Answer in 3, 2, 1. It's A. If you got it right, congrats. If not, well, museums, hit me up. I'm selling it for 300 Bitcoin. Here's a progression of how I used paint and 2 filters to make it. Anyways, back to the review. So the magic incorporates a typical stock set of ideas. Runes, written symbols, mental concentration, magical binding contracts, sensory manipulation, tarot cards, etc. Yeah, it revolves around a circus. There's nothing wrong with that in theory, but the application is what matters, and despite such a solid foundation to build off of, the application is more unstable than my career prospects. First off, the premise of the magic is already questionable. The night circus is the only fictional thing in an otherwise realistic world. Sure, the magic users can do shit like change the weather, create complex illusions, predict the future, control elements, and straight up manipulate reality. They have magic powerful enough to give Voldemort a hard-on and a nose, yet the magic users in the night circus use their powers for theatrics. Yes, of all the things someone can do with reality manipulation, a girl changes the color of her dress and convinces the audience that it's just really good sleight of hand. The other problem is that the magic wasn't believable, and was more like a crutch used to gloss over weird events. It is interesting if characters work within the realms of established magic to creatively solve new problems. It is not interesting if characters solve magic-induced problems by inventing a convenient magic solution. Every time I thought I understood how the general idea of magic worked, characters would start transcending into nirvana or some shit, and then my eyes would start turning gay. JK. Rolling. The plot revolves around magic, and the magic lacks a core explanation. By the transitive property, you can guess what I think of the plot. Oh, you want satisfying answers to major plot events? Like, why did the game need to be so vague? Why did the train and knife events occur? Why did the director dude end up like that? Why did the main characters end up like that? What the hell is wrong with the 2 wizard teachers? Why the fuck were they hyping up the so-called mysterious game for most of the book before explaining the entire premise in like 3 words at the end? Erin, you can't just brush half the plot rationale under the rug like a dead dog. That's a surefire way to ruin a perfectly good dinner party, no matter how dreamy the atmosphere was. The sheer difference in quality between the atmosphere and the plot is so jarring, it reminds me of a group project. I'm not saying that more than one person wrote this book, but I can imagine how a ghostwriter contract might have went. So what do you want the book to be about? Magic. Well, what kind of magic? How should the magic work? How should it influence the story? Magic, the magical kind of magic. Magical magic. Magic. Magic is so good. Just write about magic. What don't you understand? Don't you like magic? The Night Circus is like the diet of a supermodel. All sparkles, but no substance. And a tapeworm of a plot. In summary, atmosphere good, plot bad. The Night Circus gets half a recommendation from me. Not in the exact sense of 2.5 stars out of 5, but rather because I recommend reading half the book and using your imagination to fill in the rest. It's such a shame that the plot ruins such a stylistically interesting book. The more I think about the Night Circus, the more disappointed I feel. Just read Harry Potter instead. Better magic, better plot, comparable atmosphere. Although it does suffer a bit from the occasional retcon. Thanks for watching. If you like these kind of videos, you should probably look elsewhere, as I only seem to post once a year. I'm trying to get back into it. I have a bunch of scripts for various books I've already written. I just need to make 100 fucking images for each of them. Fuck.